Hey bosses, welcome back to my channel for another video. So in today's video, I want to talk about balance and balancing your 9 to 5 with your business, especially for those of you who in this new year, maybe you want to go full-time or you just want to finally focus on your brand to see it grow more than where it is right now. So just a little bit of a background. I am full-time in my business now. I have a clothing brand. I am an author of a book. I also have this YouTube channel. I work with brands. I also am a coach and a consultant. And so I've been full-time since April 2019. I have not always been doing all of these things, but over the past almost 2 years, I've developed more things in my business. So anyways, what I want to give you today are the top tips that help me to finally get focused to grow my brand, even when I have other things going on in life. So whether you are a parent or you have a full-time job or both, you're in school, these will all apply to you. So let's go ahead and get into the video. First things first, you have to determine right now that your business is not an option. Like literally right now, decide that you have to succeed in business and there's no other option, because when you kind of take it for granted and when you're okay if you don't succeed, when you don't give it your full like determination, at that point you will easily fall off when it gets difficult. You will easily give it half effort and you will never see the success that you want to actually see, because it will get difficult. You have to determine, number one, that no matter what, you are going to stick with it and that you actually want to succeed. Okay, once that's out of the way, let's get to the practical steps. So number 2, this one was so important for me, especially for those of us who have demanding jobs. So I was a teacher when I first started my business, and that is very demanding. So my number 2 was that I'm gonna do my work at work. While I am at work, I'm gonna give my job 100% of my effort. I'm not gonna slack off. I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm gonna do my work at work so that when I get home, I have full time and effort to focus on my brand. Some of you may not have this issue. Maybe for some of you, you already do that. You don't bring work home with you. But as a beginning teacher, I was in my second year, my first to second year teaching. When you're a beginning teacher, it's so easy to come home and bring graded papers with you and bring tests home with you to grade. No, with this, in order to obtain balance, you have to do your work at work. This is gonna make sure that even as you're growing your brand, you're not neglecting your 9 to 5, you're not neglecting that paycheck, okay? So when you're at work, get the work done, no excuses. Number 3, at the beginning of every week, typically I chose a Sunday, I would sit on my laptop and I would map out all of my important tasks for the week, business and work. So I would open up a Word document and I would make 5 different columns, Monday column, Tuesday column, Wednesday column, etc. And kind of like right now, a lot of you may have like 5 to 10 important priority tasks in your mind. I would sit on my computer and I would map out which day I would get those tasks done. So if I had the random idea that I need to go to the post office, I would go to my Wednesday column and put that on for Wednesday. If I knew that I needed to go get more business supplies, I would put that on my Tuesday columns. For me personally, because my job at the time was so demanding for me, like a lot of you also have demanding tasks as well, I put all of those tasks on one spreadsheet. So I treated my business like it was full-time, just like my career, just how some of you are full-time parents. I had to start seeing it as just as important. So for instance, if I had a really important parent-teacher meeting on Wednesday, I would have that on my Wednesday calendar, and I would also have Wednesday night to go to the post office. Whatever my priorities were, I would map them all out. So I did this every single week. So on Sunday evening, I would sit down and map out my entire week and just get everything organized. So this way I was not neglecting my business, I was not neglecting my job. They were equally important to me and I was getting everything done. I was able to see when everything would get done. That was really important for me to stay organized, to balance. For instance, if I saw that Tuesday was extremely busy at work and I knew that I would be extremely tired, then I would save a post office trip for another day, for a Wednesday or a Thursday. So it was important that I saw my entire day, my entire week at a glance, so I could really map out when I would get different business tasks done. This spreadsheet was the most important thing that helped me just stay focused. Now, it's one thing to have it written down, it's another thing to actually get those things done, but at least you can start off by putting all of your tasks on a spreadsheet. So number 3, hopefully this makes sense, I mapped out my week at a glance for whatever was a priority for me. That was my full-time job and my business. It was mapped out on the exact same spreadsheet. I started doing all of this December 2018. So this was about 6 months after I started my business, where I finally was like, you know what, I need to see some growth. And so that December, I started doing this, and by April, I was full-time. So it only took me about 3.5 months to apply this to see growth in my business. Number 4, so this is where all the real work begins. So before leaving work every single day, I would review my task for the evening. So remember, I have all of my tasks mapped out for every single day. So before I clocked out and actually went to the parking lot, I would review my to-do list for the evening time to see what all actually had to be done before I left work. So I could know if I had to run some errands that day, or if I needed to like pick up something for my business. I would know that before I even got into the car. And this allowed me to really prepare my mind for the night ahead. So this is gonna allow me to actually be in the mindset that when I get home, I have things to do, and I know exactly what needs to get done and how I'm going to get it done. So I make sure I review that before actually leaving to go home every single day. Number 5, this is what's extremely important for me. So I'm someone that in the midst of all this work, I still find time to rest. I believe that like there is just peace in having rest, and I believe that God allows for me to have rest. So number 5 is when I get home, as soon as I got home every single day, I took 1 to 2 hours to myself. I needed it after a strenuous work day in order to continue to work in my business and not burn out so fast. I had to have time for myself. So I did whatever needed to get done it was usually about 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. So this could mean cooking, eating, taking a shower, watching something on YouTube, taking a nap. I took a lot of naps. I was taking like a lot of like power naps, where there was like 30 to 45 minutes, something to just like deplete any stress and get into work mode for my business. I did this every single day. Number 6, I work my to-do list. So we have a strict to-do list on Sunday. We already know what needs to get done, and so I'm gonna work until my list is complete. I know exactly what needs to happen. And so because I did the work on Sunday to make this to-do list, and because I even reviewed my list before I left to go home that day, this gives me time to rest, so that when it's time to get to work, I'm getting straight to work and there's absolutely no wasted time. I rest and then I get to work. If I didn't spend that time on Sunday making this to-do list, I would spend hours thinking about what needs to get done, and I probably would never even get it done. So the pre-planning part is extremely important for success. So number 6 is I would work that to-do list, and there is no time limit when I would stop working. I would stop working when that list was done, and a lot of times for me myself, that was around like 2-3 a.m. every single day I was going to bed. And this is just because I knew what I wanted for my brand. So it was important that my clothing lines was successful, but I also wanted to nurture this YouTube channel. This is when my channel grew the most, was during that time, because I was very consistent. I also grew my audience a lot because I was coming on live and talking to them almost every single day. So everything was a priority for me. There was nothing that I did not want to not touch in my brand. So I made time for it, and I went to bed at like 2-3 a.m. and I was not a complainer. I was teaching entrepreneurs like after hours when they got off work. I'm teaching them and running my business, and people ask me like, how did you do that? This is how I did it, because outside of this, girl, I don't know. Guy, I don't know. But I do know that number 1 was to know that there's no other option. And in my mind, I was tired of where I was, and I knew where I wanted to be, and there was nothing else that could get me there besides diligence, my hard work, and my faith in God. And without any of those things, I would still be where I was. And so y'all, after doing all of these things, 3 months later, I quit my job. I was ready to quit in March. I finally quit April 4th. So it was about 3.5 months later, I quit. I was full-time. That's that, you guys. That is how I balanced. That's how I was able to find a balance in order to grow my business over time. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I cannot wait to give you guys more content on how to grow in your personal life and in your brand. So until then, hit the subscribe button down below for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, bosses.